Hey guys, welcome back. Sagittarius, we are doing what you need to know, whatever comes up. Yeah, Scorpios was a very interesting read. Okay, let's get started. Sagittarius, hope you guys are doing well. Are we still in Capricorn season? Yeah, we are still in Capricorn season. All right, Sagittarius, let's see what's going on. Yes, don't mind my hair. It's a work in progress. Let's see. Sagittarius. It's almost like you have nothing to say. I talked my butt off in Scorpios and I have nothing to say. Sagittarius. Okay. I have nothing to say, huh? You guys might be having an earache on your right side. Unconditional trust. Okay. I'm going to get one more actually. Let's get one more. Unconditional trust. Okay. Empowered service with rhodonite and then celestite. Okay. Do I have my celestite stone here? I do. This is what celestite looks like. I don't know if you guys can see it. That is celestite. And I have rhodonite, but I have it in a bat. That's rhodonite. And rhodonite is rhodonite is really good for heart healing. It's very good for like heartbreak. It has a lot of good properties. I would look into it because yeah. And celestite is almost like a angel stone. When you need like help from your angels, help from your guides. Again, it has a bunch of other properties, so I would look that up. I'm just giving you the basic, right? But it does make sense with unconditional trust and then Master Mother Mary. I feel like you guys are starting to finally just Jesus take the wheel, basically. Or you're starting to finally trust in yourself, maybe. And if not in yourself, you're finally just allowing the universe and you're giving them your full trust because you're saying, you know what? No matter what I'm trying to do, no matter what I try to, nothing seems to be working. So you know what? Take over from a universe or God or maybe you, Mother Mary, isn't that the Virgin of Guadalupe? Um, so a lot of you guys could be religious, right? So you guys are giving your trust to the divine. Um, and it's because with empowered service, it does feel like you guys have been trying to heal through a heartbreak, and it feels like you guys have been having a really hard time. You guys have been really having a really hard time, and the things that used to work before aren't working anymore. In the past, when things were when you went through a heartbreak, what used to help you get through it is no longer working. And so that's why you're calling in for angel assistance. Whether you're literally calling it in or your soul is calling it in, you're calling in angel assistance, and you're basically saying, help, I can't, you I allow you to intervene, because I can't do this anymore. It feels too painful. You're asking for, um basically, like, I'm seeing somebody like at a go to a like a restaurant, right? That doesn't say it doesn't sell food, and you're looking at a menu, and you're saying, "Oh, I want this service, which is heart healing," right? And I trust you guys, so please just help me. It does feel harder, and the reason why it feels harder, Sagittarius, is because this isn't just a heartbreak. This is you being cracked open. And so it feels like not just your heart is broken, but your whole soul feels heartbroken. You feel raw in every place, in every aspect of whom you are. It feels very raw. You feel wide open, and it's because it's not just a heartbreak, it is the heartbreak that is opening you up to see the truth about behaviors, about situations, about the truth of life here on earth, about the 5D, about the 3D. Most likely, a lot of you guys are going into a dark night of the soul. And so it feels heavier when you're going through a, a heartbreak, right? With a heartbreak that's fresh, plus, a dark night of the soul. And remember, when we go through a heartbreak, that the person that heartbreak didn't actually cause that pain. What caused that pain was the original heartbreak, your first heartbreak. Think of your father if they abandoned you. Think of the first time you ever had your heart broken. That is where that pain's coming from. It's remembrance, right? And so it's all of the heartbreaks, all of the pain has just been activated, okay? And so it feels like this time, it feels like there's, no matter what you try or what you do, you can't seem to get a handle of it on it. And it's because you're not meant to. You're not meant to. The only thing you can do at this point is Jesus take over the wheel, right? Or universe take over the wheel. Or whoever it is that you pray to take over the wheel. I need help, right? And we've been told, because, they knew how hard the situation was going to be. If you ever need help, allow us to intervene. We will help. All you have to do is ask, right? And so right now is a perfect time for you to ask for help. And they are coming in to help you, right? Okay, let's go deeper. Okay, okay. Oh, you guys really want to talk now. You're like, okay, well, now that you opened the door, now that you saw it, might as well. Okay, Sagittarius. Yeah, with the Page of Pentacles, you're finally starting to learn. You're finally starting to understand. I think that in the past, you were learning certain things, you were looking to certain things, and you understood what was being said, but you weren't understanding. You weren't understanding, and of course, if you don't understand, you cannot integrate what people are trying to say, right? And I feel like for a long time you were understanding, oh, if you meditate and if you transmute the information, and you're like, yeah, 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 but I don't actually really know what that means. So, like, you didn't really like do anything about it, right? It was almost like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. You're speaking English, but it wasn't understanding. You weren't understanding what was being told to you. And I feel like now you have found this as a situation, and now because you're understanding it, once you start to integrate, that doesn't feel comfortable. It feels actually quite painful, because you're starting to understand, um all sides, including your own sides, right? And that when you have to look in a mirror and see that sometimes um, you're the problem. And it's not because, let's say, you were toxic. Maybe at some point you were toxic, but maybe you're the problem because you stayed. Maybe you were the problem because you forgave, because you were understanding the fact that if somebody continually hurts you, that's not love, right? So you stayed. You stayed past the times that you should have left way before, and now it's hitting you because you're starting to finally incorporate and to understand that information. And when you integrate that into your soul, that hurts. It hurts when you see that it was you abandoning yourself. It hurts that it was you that, a lot of times where you were, the player that you were in whatever situation it was, right? It's hard to look at yourself and see your flaws, or whatever things, that the behaviors that you were acting out of trauma, behaviors, not knowing that what you were doing were not, and it's taking accountability is the biggest ego death. Like, well, shit, I was sometimes the problem. I was. Sometimes I knew I shouldn't have done something and I did it anyway. And I continued to do it. And some of my behavior wasn't okay. And right, that kind of thing. And it doesn't take away from what, the accountability from other people. But when you see it fully 360, it's difficult. It's easier to be able to blame someone and be like, it's their fault, right? Because then you don't have to take accountability. But I was a princess. I was amazing. I was doing nothing wrong, and boom, you've integrated, and now you're like, well, shit, am I the bad guy? And it's not to say that you were the bad guy, right? But sometimes, you know, until you're actually integrated and you become self aware and you become emotionally aware, you do things that are not in alignment with who you really are, because we continue to do things out of uh, fear, out of trauma, out of um, basically self survival, right? Survival. You are starting to manifest. You start to manifest a different kind of life. I feel like you're starting to manifest. You're playing, you're tinkering, you're taking things, and you're starting to, like, I feel like you're starting to play with the earth. You're starting to tinker with doing magical things, right? It feels like you're starting to, little by little. It's like I'm seeing somebody get like a magical box set, and you're starting to, like, do this and do that and try to understand, and actually learning the way it works. For a lot of you guys, I do feel like some of you guys, this is your first lifetime um, doing witchy stuff. I don't see, I do see a few of you that have had that are like lifetimes of witches, but I for the most part I do see, for a lot of you guys are beginners in this lifetime. There's nothing wrong with that, right? God, the universe, they gave us everything that we needed to use to manifest everything that we needed, right? Even medication, it comes from herbs from the ground, even poisons. Right? Everything, herbs, everything came from the earth. So using what the earth gives us to be able to manifest and call in the things that you want and need, there's nothing wrong with that, right? As long as we are not interfering with people's um, free will, okay? That's what we're not doing in this lifetime. Um, in this lifetime, anything that you want to do, you want to make, is going to be for your healing. It's going to be, if you want to help other people heal, that's fine with their consent. But anything outside of that is black magic. But again, that's up to you. That's your decision, right? We make our own decisions. You don't have to listen to me. Uh, but you are starting to learn how to become the magician, and you are starting to manifest. Let's go a little bit deeper. Yeah, with the Page of Wands, you're starting to feel new ideas. You're starting to get really creative. You're starting to get, um, like I said, some of you guys are past life witches, so a lot of you guys are getting like your memories back. So you're starting to get creative with ideas with how you want to move forward, like doing your own little manifestations, how you can do it, how you want to do it. Everybody does manifestations, they do their own magic differently, right? I don't know if a single person has the exact same way of manifesting or even uh doing you know energy work the same. And so I feel like, again, you guys are getting ideas of how you want your life to be, and you're getting ideas on how you can do that and how you can manifest that for yourself, right? Yeah, with the Ace of Cups. With the Ace of Cups, I feel for a lot of you guys want a brand new beginning in love. Um, you want a brand new beginning in love, but you feel like you don't have the financial sovereignty, you don't have the financial means to do and what you want. For some of you guys, to be honest with you, I have to say this because it is coming out. Some of you guys are trying to manifest a rich person, which I mean, if I don't know if that's what you're trying to manifest, then uh, I actually have no opinions on that. If you're meant to be with a rich person, then great. I just truly believe if that you can't give yourself something, you shouldn't be demanding that of other people. And it doesn't mean like every person that's rich gets with a rich person, right? I would just be careful of what you're trying to manifest, because it does seem here like somebody is trying to manifest a rich person, and you're going about it in ways um, that are not uh, that are out of the norm, right? So like like doing a witchcraft or doing spells and stuff like that. Again, I can't tell you what to do, but you do have the Queen of Wands here. You have every single thing you need to manifest you being the rich man, right? Um, you really don't need to call in somebody else. Um, this is something that you can do on your own. I really feel like this is something that you can do on your own. And remember, like so many things that come with being tied to somebody that has money when you don't, a lot of times you can lose your own personal sovereignty, your freedom, depending on who you deal with, right? Not all people that have finances are great emotionally, are healed, are the best partners to be with. So you need to be careful of what you're calling in. And honestly, if you're doing any kind of work, I would definitely suggest that you do work on yourself. Do work on yourself, because whenever you're trying to mess with free will, that's going to backfire. Especially with the High Priestess in reverse here, you don't know and you don't see what you're doing correctly. Um, yeah, you kind of don't know exactly what you're doing, and you don't see the 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 things that the repercussions that you can cause on yourself. With the Six of Pentacles here, oh god. Okay, let's go deeper. That's all I have to say about that. Everybody has, like I said, free will, and you guys have, you guys, you guys can do what you want. Just be careful because these things backfire. And you, with you being the Queen of Wands, you have everything you need to be the rich man. Like Cher said, like her Cher was like, my mother says, Cher, you should get yourself a rich man and get married. And she was like, Mom, I am the rich man, right? Like, you have everything you need. Everything you need, Sagittarius. Yeah, fireworks, passion, chemistry, lust. It does feel like this is what you want. This is what you want. And I feel like you know who you want, right? It feels like you know who you want. And if this is something that's meant for you, you don't need to do all of this. This will happen naturally. Um, you feel fireworks with someone. You feel like chemistry. You feel lust, desire. You feel, yeah, this is somebody that you would have really good sex with. Explosive. This is going to be very explosive, right? Let's clarify the Magician. Yeah, child, beginnings, innocent, brand new. Are you younger than them or are they younger than you? Is it somebody that's younger than you? Somebody that wants to have a fresh start or you want to have a fresh start? Um this is somebody that wants to be spontaneous, but they're inexperienced. But they have a new perspective on the situation, but I'm still getting an energy here that I'm not let's keep going. Clarifying the Page of Wands, we got, yeah, going places. This is somebody that wants to travel with you or you want to travel with them, wanting to take a trip, traveling overseas with them. Let's see. This is somebody that wants to travel with you, that wants to take a trip with you. Let's keep going. With the Ace of Cups, you got stepping stones. So there is a need here. They are saying that this is something that can be accomplished, but in a way where you manifest without doing, again, any movement to free will. If you want to manifest someone, you can manifest this kind of love, and just ask the universe to bring that to you. If this person is meant to come into your life, then they will, without any need to have to do any magic. The magic is already going to be in you and in them, right? They are telling you to take stepping stones, like one step at a time, um, for your growth. The more you grow, the faster you'll be able to call this in, right? Because it's about spiritual growth. And once you're at a level, at a frequency where you can call this in, um, that's when there will be progress towards this. You feel like this is something that will help you get out of a situation, maybe a financial situation, maybe a situation where it'll take you like almost like somebody's coming to save you, but nobody's coming to save you. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. You're going to have to do your spiritual growth. You're going to have to put the work in yourself. Nobody's going to come in to save you. Eventually, this, what you want and what you're manifesting, look, it's going to come after a death and a rebirth. And that's going to take spiritual growth. And for a death and a rebirth to happen, you have to do the work. Yeah, you're gonna have to go through a heart awakening. You're gonna have to transform. It's a complete renewal. This is not something that's gonna happen from one day to the next. You can call it in, but it's not gonna happen until there's a death and rebirth. And I don't see that you guys are, to be honest with you, not you guys aren't there yet. You guys aren't there yet. Yeah, with rings, but it came in reverse. Yeah, see, um, you do have a contract for somebody in the future. This is somebody that you could have already done lifetimes, past lifetimes with, or somebody that you've done a cycle with. But there's karma that needs to be played out here, and there needs to be closure and the closing of a certain karmic cycle. Um, but again, it's saying, you're gonna reap what you sow. So if you don't do the work, this is not this is not something that's gonna be for you unless you can get to this healing and frequency. And look, we got 24 and 25. So it's almost like it's moving up. There is a contract here, and there was a pact made in a past life. It could have been in this life as well, but I am seeing a past life. That there will be a commitment. There is a contract, a partnership, but it isn't coming until after the death and the rebirth. And see, it's saying bears, boss, CEO, judge. This is once you have your full sovereignty and control of your own life. Once you're the CEO of your own life, this is when this is going to come in. When your finances are good, when your health and wealth are good, um, you know, with you being very protective of your kids, when your family is in a good state of wholeness. Yeah, this is gonna come in, but it's not gonna come in until you're ready. Yeah, see, soulmate, twin flames, faith, a pair of things, blooming love, the one. Yep, but it's not gonna come in until after. Yep. hmm Wishes do come true, but again, this is gonna be after your spiritual growth, and it says it right here, after your spiritual growth, and you have to allow it to come in naturally. Okay, you can do a less spell where you're asking for love to come into your life, where there's equal give and take, right? But you can't force someone, because of free will, to be with you. And especially if it's because you think they're going to come in and save you, you're going to have to save yourself first. You're going to have to come in and be at least to a level of your own sovereignty to be able to be on the frequency of this. All right, Sagittarius. All right, let me get you guys a guidance card. Let me get you guys some guidance. Okay. Belong to your own dream. Create your own life. What did I say? Oh my gosh. Sagittarius. Yeah. You're the rich man. Okay. You're the rich man. I know you just sometimes life gets so difficult. You're just like, can somebody please just come in? And unfortunately that's not 99.9% of the time how it works. Um, but I know Sagittarius, you guys can, like, I mean, hello, out of any of the signs, come on. All right, so you got this. I love you guys so much. I hope this helped. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.